All right, so we got our daily summary today. Overall, today, just like the last couple days, sorry, I'm doing well. Really flat, so it's about down 1%, which is basically nothing. In aftermarket trading, after hours trading, it's up 1.62. Same thing, roughly the same, not a whole lot of volatility. As we scroll through what I own, it's down, but if you look, it's relatively single digits and everything, pretty small. Occasionally there's a double digit above and below. And then items that I do not have stocks in, it's kind of a mixed bag. So with that being said, we're going to go to the stock screener that I have here, and I'm going to walk through what I did today. So again, for those new to this area are the stocks that I currently own. These are the stocks that I sold. So you'll see this one's empty here, and then these three are empty here because I sold those. These are the ones we have buy limit orders on and sell limit orders. And again, for those not well versed in it, a buy limit order basically says as soon as the stock price goes down to a certain amount, it'll trigger a buy at that point, but we're not going to buy now. And a sell is the exact opposite. It only will sell the stock once it exceeds a certain price. So right now, kind of what I'm doing the last couple days, it's not about the gains or loss, so I'm really not considered too much about this area. Again, we are shooting not necessarily for saying, okay, we have a current gain in the market. I mean, gains are always great, but the downside to a gain is it increases your cost basis. And a cost basis is an accounting term, meaning it's what you paid for the stock. And realistically, if you're going to make an insane amount of gain and just rip it in this market, you need to drive these prices down as much as you can before they go up. And so the last couple days, that's really what I've been focusing on. Is I sold these and I wanted to make sure that I had a gain on each one. I will not ever sell a stock at a loss. I will hold it to my grave, and then my executor needs to figure out what to do with it, because I am never selling a stock at a loss. I'm never going to give them the satisfaction. So we have this VKTX, which is a biotech company, sold it at a 23% gain. SSL is Sasol. It's a South African mining company. They do mainly like oil and natural gas and things like that. So sold at 6.67. I'm just not going to sell it at a loss. So I took a little bit of a gain and took my money and ran. CNK is Cinemark Cinemas. Took a nice 37.5% gain on that, but it was up a lot higher before. Fair enough. And then Venom, which is an energy company out of the West Texas basin, and took a 5% gain on that. So overall, we have booked a 17% gain, but what we've done is we've freed up cash. So today we sold all our interest in VKTX and Sasol, which is SSOL, and so we basically cleared $3,500 to play with. And at the same time, we bought, what is BHR? I always forget the name of these things sometimes. Bramer Hotels, and they own a bunch of names. They own a bunch of names that most people don't know, but they're all luxury hotels, so they're definitely not going anywhere. And when the well-toothed and well-heeled people get out of their lockdown, trust me, they're going out to these hotels. So right now, BHR, I decided to add a limit order on that. That's what all the yellow is of what we did today. Currently, it's at 124. And so I'd said we want to buy it at 125. Previously, it was a little bit lower, so it executed this limit order of 567 shares at 125, and that's what we have right here. And so breaks even roughly for the most part. It went down 1 cent, hence $5.67. And then we have a current holding of IVR, which is, it's Invesco. It's a real estate investment trust owned by Invesco, which is the naming rights company of the Denver Broncos, which I don't like them. So we added 200 more shares here, but more importantly, we bought it at 260, which drove the average cost basis down to 290, which is good. That's exactly what we're looking to do today. So even though the current price is a little bit below that, I don't really care too much. It really doesn't bother me at all. We want to get that down as a functional thing that we did. The other thing that I was looking at is I was originally going to do, and I talked about this in yesterday's video, was doing a buy limit order for NBLX, which is a Noble Partners. A Noble Partners, what do they do? I know the name. And it's funny, is I know a lot of details, but I just got to remember which one is which. Where is Noble Partners? Maybe I even took it off my list, which is what I'm going to be going toward. No, I have it there. Noble Midstream Partners. And this midstream, which is when they pull oil out of the ground, they have downstream, upstream, downstream, and midstream. The downstream is when they pull the oil out. Midstream is when they process it. And upstream is when they basically send it out for refinement. So I didn't know that before doing all this, but the midstream area is getting hammered now. And there's concerns over liquidity. So for right now, I would have got this at an insane price of $250. And their 22-week mark, which for those new, I'm comparing all the current prices to where they were on February 20th, which is $20. I mean, it would have been an 8 times return on it. But I'm not quite ready to go there yet. So I actually had this order canceled today. And currently right now the price for that is $340. So it actually had a good day today. So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what it does tomorrow. And after hours trading, it was doing 0.01. So it's relatively the same. We'll take a look at it. But let's say that it even goes up to $4, right? So let's say it goes up to $4. Let's go in here. On February 20th, it was doing, let's call it 20 bucks. 20 divided by 4, it's a 5 times return. So if it goes up to 4, I still might consider buying it, but I want to see a little bit, considering the industry and the niche that it's in, I want to see a little bit of momentum. And I was looking at the stock, which we will look at right now. So let's go to NBLX. And I pulled a 3-month chart, and right here, I know it by heart, it was at 1883. So we're looking at 18.83 divided by what I would have bought at 2.59 or 2.5, 7.5 times. So that's an insane return, but it could be a trap. So even if it goes up a little bit, and over the last month we see it's going up a little bit, but it's relatively flat. $3 at the bottom. Oh, this is Noble Energy. Hold on a sec. Do we have the right one here? All right, so this is the one we're looking at. So that makes more sense. Yeah, so about 20 bucks, and it took a huge dive there, and it's been relatively flat then, but we see a spike downward a little bit, but we don't see any spikes up. So I kind of look at those, and I'm not sure if it's scientific or not, but I look at those as like glimmers of hope. So I don't necessarily see that there as much. So considering the industry and the niche it's in and where it's at right now, I'm willing to live with it going up to 4% and seeing what it does on a particular day. It went up 5% today. It's up a little bit in aftermarket trading, but I don't see this glimmer of hope, as I like to call it, where it would shoot up and maybe go down on bad news. So long story short, we are going to pull this out. So I'm going to delete this. All right, and let's see, we did BHR today, so we can delete that out. And we did IVR, we can delete that out. Shift the cells up. We did VTech, whatever it's called, that's what it's called, VTech. And SSL, did we do that? Yep, we did that as well. So going into tomorrow, we have 3,300 ready to sell on the sidelines. And we'll move this up. So potentially that could come into our bank account, and we have 4,600 set as limit orders. So right now the idea is, If we get these or not, it really doesn't matter too much. But if we get them, it's at a great price and we keep their price really down. And this one is just cash flow. And we talked about these in yesterday's video. So if you want details on that, go to the 4/1/2020 video and you can see what we're doing. So, but for right now, we'll clear these up and we'll see what tomorrow brings. But the good news is if the market goes down, I get some killer deals and it's great from a long-term perspective. And if it goes up, I get needed cash flow. So really no matter what happens tomorrow, I am golden. And this number right here for those watching, I don't really care where those numbers are at until this Corona thing is over. And I don't really care about a 10% loss. That doesn't matter because we have 76% gains and 28% gains. And then we have some, these are the first three that I bought. This is going to be at 400 to 500% when we're done. So, but we're working right now to establish getting this cost basis down as low as possible and keeping cash on the side to give us some flexibility. And right now I have, oh, you always have to look at one of these. $1,500 sitting on the side right now. So we'll just wait and see what comes up. So that being said, see you tomorrow.